Afternoon, photography students. As I said on Friday, I wouldn't be here, but I kind of give you a little intro to it. So let me do that again. So we're looking to finish up the class. Before anything, make sure when you're done listening and watching this beautiful presentation that you finish your lens assessment. Please make sure that all the slides are filled out except for the ones about IR. So I should see some planning, I should see some doing, some reflecting, and such. So if you have any questions, ask other people, but that needs to get finished first. All right. Second thing, what I'd like you to do, I know it's like a week early, but we have time right now, so let's do it. I'd like you to complete the exit survey. So when you go into our Google Classroom, you're going to see this is already posted, a little exit survey I'm asking all of you to fill out. Basically, it's your chance to tell me what you liked about the class, what you didn't like about the class, and what ideas or tips or tricks or ideas, I think I said ideas twice, about this course. So if you would, please take a couple of minutes after this video to complete it. I have this set up for anonymous, so if you put your name on it, cool. If not, that's fine. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Awesome. So that's the first thing I'd like you to do. The second thing is I'd like you to start your Photoshop manipulation assessment. Now, when you open it up, and if you weren't here the other day, I'm going to review it, you're going to see a ton of slides. The expectation is that you don't fill out many of these slides, but you know how we break them up where we have them color coded. So you know enough to be dangerous now in this class, meaning you know how to use Photoshop. And if you wanted to figure out how to make certain kinds of things happen in Photoshop, you probably could, because you know just enough to do that. So I'm going to ask you to go online and find some Photoshop tutorials, one at a time, and let's see what we can find to do. So there's no set number. Basically, we've got from now until the end of our last class to try to create a few of these. Now, like I said, in class, if you find one tutorial and it takes you 7 days to do because it's that detailed, awesome. If you find one that just takes like a day, then you're probably going to need to find a couple more. So when you open up this document, the prep slide simply is to put a link to the website that you're going to utilize. This is more for you because you won't lose your bookmark. The second is asking you to kind of explain what you're going to try to create. And then finally, the high quality work would go on the last slide with a little reflection. So how would we find Photoshop tutorials? Now, usually in the past, we had access to YouTube and it was pretty easy. Before YouTube existed, if you can imagine, we used to just do written tutorials, and we're going to go back to written tutorials. Now, if you happen to go home and find a video tutorial you would like to try, send me that link and I will get you access to that video. Okay? But for right now, we can start with the written ones. And there's a lot of websites out there. The easiest thing probably is to go to Google like I did and go down to Photoshop tutorials or type that in and then just kind of go through and find some websites. Now, if you know something you want to create, like, oh, I'd love to see how do you change the color of people's eyes, then type in Photoshop tutorial eye change, eye color change, whatever, and you'll find some examples. Now, when you go to many of these websites, you're going to want to take your time to kind of scroll through them and be like, oh, this kind of looks interesting. Let's find out what that does. Yeah, it'd be cool to add a rainbow. And then you can be like, oh, okay, that looks kind of neat. And remember what I said on Friday, you can kind of do what you want. If you want to follow these steps word for word, awesome. If you kind of want to put your own spin on it, cool. If you want to download the pictures that they give you, awesome. If you want to kind of use your own pictures and do your own thing, that's perfectly fine as well. So today, that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Start by filling out the exit survey. Second, make sure any work you owe me, i.e. the lens assessment, is done. And then you can get started on the Photoshop tutorials. When I see you tomorrow, I'll kind of review everything, see where we're at, and we should be in good shape. So thanks, everyone, and have a great time.